Rangers 32-meter Smiley N. Pool, staff photographer. Texas Rangers second baseman Rougned Odor chases down minor leaguer Alex Kowalczyk in a fielding drill during a spring training workout at the team's training facility on Tuesday, February 19, 2019, in Surprise, Arizona. Smiley N. Pool, The Dallas Morning News, by Evan Grant, staff writer at Evan P_Grant. The latest installment of What are the top 5 things that need to happen for this team to compete for wildcard? And I think it's an exercise in unrealistic hope. But here goes. 1. The starting rotation must stay healthy. 2. At least 3 of those starters most post-career best seasons. 3. Either one of the trio of Rougned Odor, Joey Gallo and Nomar Mazara must post a .900 or better. Ops or 2 must get to .850. 4. Delino Deshields must regain the OBP ability he's had in odd-numbered seasons and reach base at a .340 plus clip. He must go where he hasn't before and score 100 runs. 5. A hungry Bengal tiger, a Siberian won't do, must get loose during a Yankees-Red Sox matchup and eat both teams. Or at least sufficiently maim them. What is the official at Evan P_Grant prediction on the Rangers' win-loss record officially ending the last year at Global I Park, aka the ballpark in Arlington? And do you think the at NC Boomstick 23 botched catch curse will be lifted once the new park opens? Month-by-month schedule analysis, which breaks down key moments in the season, summarizes each month and also provides a final record. Also, don't take just my word for it on the regular season record. Here's our panel of expert predictions from Tim Kalishaw and Kevin Sherrington on Down to Me, with special guest appearances by New East Ruggs, Dana Larson and Mike Reiner. What is organization doing to improve draft record, both pitchers and position players? Especially since it's been such a long-term weakness. And I think the biggest flaw of Jon Daniels' tenure as GM. Here is the report on where the Rangers rank in terms of drafting, signing, developing and producing homegrown pitcher compared to the rest of MLB since Daniels took over in 2006. The biggest failing has been the lack of success with first-rounders among pitchers. The Rangers have used their top pick on a pitcher 9 times in the 13 drafts Daniels has overseen. Only one of those pitchers, the since given up on Chichi Gonzalez, pitched in the majors for the Rangers. A poor track record. Now, I'll say this, the Rangers have made a huge investment in catching up and, they hope, stepping ahead of their competition in research and development. They are consulting with everybody on the leading edges of data analysis, biomechanics and other sports sciences. And, to piggyback off the previous question, it's probably a smaller investment with a long-range better forecast than spending on free agents would have been this past winter. Again, I don't think the Rangers' issues at the major league level could have been completely fixed in 1 year. But I do think they have a chance to make a pretty comprehensive turn in the acquisition and development of players. Now for the hard part, this is going to take time and there are no guarantees. Ownership is betting on Jon Daniels and his staff. Some people see Jon Daniels and see a 2-time AL champ of a GM with 5 playoff berths under his belt. Some see a guy who has rebuilt an organization successfully by exploiting a market, squeezing the most out of Mark Teixeira by trading him more than a year before free agency. That was innovative at the time. There are a lot of innovators around the game right now. Can Daniels turn it again? Ownership believes he can. Me, I've got to go with U2 live at Red Rocks. The first time I heard Sunday, Bloody Sunday, live was transcendent. 35 years ago. Still know the introduction by heart. There's been a lot of talk about this next song. This is not a rebel song. This song is Sunday, Bloody Sunday, the 1990 Feeding Frenzy, Jimmy Buffett Live album also was what seriously got me into Buffett beyond Margaritaville. I know as a child whose early years were spent in the 70s, I'm probably supposed to say Frampton Comes Alive or Cheap Trick at Budokan. But I won't. Crone, March 26, 2019. Me, oh, this is an interesting probe. I have to go with Odor first because he put himself into the conversation, finishing as a finalist last year. His chances seem to improve with Robinson Cano out of the league, though the arrival of NL Gold Glove winner DJ LeMahieu will complicate things for him. After that, it's going to come down to how much guys look at advanced metrics on defense versus trusting their instincts. DeShields was on his way to finishing in the top 3 in defensive runs saved in center field last year until he lost playing time. But there will always be a perception that his arm isn't strong enough. Guzman was second to Oakland's Matt Olson in runs saved at first last year, but wasn't even a finalist because of lack of playing time. If he stays in the lineup all year, maybe his number goes up a bit, and Olson, out with an injury right now, comes down a bit. I'm going to go with him. Gallo is an above-average outfielder with above-average range, but it keeps getting put in the context of for a big guy. I think he will suffer from that even if stats say differently. But, look, the last year was really his first year playing left and he didn't really prepare there, just moved 2 weeks into the season. So, he could change a lot of minds. I'm going with this order: Odor, Guzman, DeShields, Gallo. Are there talks of new or redesigned at Rangers uniforms with new ballpark opening? Janae, @_it's_Janae_, March 26, 2019. Me, no official word. But let's use our heads here. The Rangers have twice moved into new stadiums since arriving in Texas, in 1972, when they arrived from Washington and went from Senators to Rangers, and in 1994 when they went from Arlington Stadium to the ballpark in Arlington. Both times included new unis. New unis mean lots of new souvenirs to sell, which means more money to distribute among all teams, which MLB likes. So, yeah, I have full expectations the Rangers will change unis next year. Me? I'd like to see red become more dominant again, incorporate some blue and maybe even some outlining of numbers in a sandstone kind of tint. I love the font the Rangers have used for their logo since 1994. It seems classic Texas. That does not need to change. So, I will be interested in how they redesign things. If they do, sorry, I can't stop snickering because we all know the club is going to maximize the revenue opportunity that comes along with the excitement of a new stadium. Me, 3 questions in short order. And I love the food questions, so what the heck? Let's roll. Believe the parking lots are scheduled to open at 10. Think gates will open 2 hours before the game. But I did not double check that on Tuesday. Look, if they don't go back to your tailgate for a bit longer. Related, opening day central, everything you need to know about the first game in Arlington, and the start of another Rangers season. Now, for the important stuff, stone crabs at Trulux remain outstanding. I think Trulux has gussied itself up a bit too much over the years, but the crab claws and the mustard sauce, a must-have accompaniment, remain first-rate. Also, TJ's Seafood Market and Restaurant often has them during the season, October to May. So, you've got the option of eating in or picking some up to take home. Cheese, easy. Beamster Classic 18-month aged. It's a Gouda. Let it sit out for a good 30 minutes. You get buttery caramel and nutty flavorings in them. Best finish I've ever had with a cheese. I recommend it to anybody who likes cheese. It's my absolute favorite. Me, I'm sure inside the vets would like to say, the hell with this. A baseball career is fleeting and chances to win are limited. You don't want to toil away for a rebuilding club. But players often talk about paying things forward. They know it's impossible to win every year and that when they were younger players, others went through the rebuilding process and helped them get better. So, now, that's part of their responsibility. Most guys take that responsibility very seriously. Shin-Soo Choo has an incredible grasp of the importance of teaching players to what it means to win and how to win, even if the talent level suggests that's impossible. As for brass, their responsibility is twofold: to put together the best plan for long-term success and to be honest with ownership, even if it doesn't bode well for their own long-term employment. I do not think the Rangers brass could have gone to ownership and pitched a plan for competing in 2019 that would have cost the team any less than $200 million this year. Just not realistically feasible, and it would cost $200 million or more again next year. And the year after. Now, I'm not advocating being cheap, but I think the best teams have a good balance of affordable young talent mixed with free agent acquisitions. Given that they had no starting pitching to speak of, there was not the right balance in place for this year to make a free agent signing or two that would have changed this team's fortunes. It's a hard truth, but it's the reality. Me, didn't see a ton of big position player prospects, mostly because the club is noticeably thin at position players in the system. But I'm pretty sure Bubba Thompson, the team's first-round choice in 2017, has done nothing but impress. He's a super athlete, who appears to be a quick learner. He's a legitimate multi-faceted center field prospect. He's going to start at Advanced Class A at the age of 20. He could be in Double A before the year is out. I do agree that Willie should start the year in AAA, but others seem to think he deserves a roster spot. Why are fans so upset that Willie isn't on the opening day roster? Also, how excited are you to see Yu Darvish pitching against the Rangers on Sunday? It was a high-profile trade for the Rangers. People want to see return from that, and they aren't willing to wait for pitcher A.J. Alexi and infielder Brendan Davis to develop. They want results now. I understand it and I get it. And that's a fair demand. But, in reality, it just doesn't often work that way. Remember, when the Rangers traded Teixeira, boy, everybody was excited about that Jared Saltalamacchia. He was the headliner. The other guys, particularly Elvis Andrus and Neftali Feliz, worked out pretty well. And Matt Harrison was a very effective major league pitcher until his back gave out on him. Always looked forward to Darvish starts just because he could be so dominant and because I liked getting around with Darvish afterwards. I look forward to seeing him get a warm welcome back from fans.